Hello, my dear students. Good morning. This is Dr. Ravinder Padya, working as an assistant professor in the Department of English at Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Dundigal, Hyderabad. So today in this session, I am going to discuss some of the important barriers of effective speaking. So in this video lecture, I am going to talk about barriers of effective speaking. So what is barriers of effective speaking? When you are giving a lecture, what are the barriers? What are the distraction? What are the disturbance? These are the things I am going to discuss in this session. So first one is barrier of effective speaking, rough and unclear data or information about the topic, inconsistent communication, missing the flow and going too fast and too slow, unclear pronunciation, unexpected sentences or words, miscommunication, or not misunderstanding the listener, using negative words. Meaning of the same words may differ from region to region and culture to culture. My dear friends, if you are going to give your lecture, when the time you have to know about clear information about your topic. Some students, they cannot give their speech, their presentation clearly. They collect from other sources unclear data and rough data or information about that particular topic. And here the second point, when you are giving your speech, lecture, inconsistent communication. Sometimes you are going too fast, sometimes you are too late, too slow, and missing your flow, what you want to say, missing your flow, you don't know. So that's what inconsistent communication, that is the barrier of speaking skills. And miscommunication or misunderstanding. If you are going too fast, if you are too slow, you are missing the flow of information or unclear data or rough data, whatever you are giving the presentation, then the listener, then the audience, who the person you are speaking with him, then the listener may misunderstand or not understand what you are saying, what you are conveying. So that is barriers of effective speaking. Next, using negative words. So here the meaning of some words may differ from region to region and culture to another culture to culture. So in some people, their mother tongue influence always exists when you are speaking. For example, I'll give you one example for it. One of my friend, he says he cannot pronounce communication. He will pronounce it communication. So it's not in other culture, in other region, it may differ meaning. It's differ meaning. So that's what your pronunciation is clearly you have to speak. Or else, I heard some of my friends from Muslim community, they are not pronounced school. They are pronouncing school, school. So culture to culture, region to region, they are different pronunciation and mother tongue influence also. So that's what in one culture that is a good meaning. If you take another culture and another region, their meaning will change. So that's what you have to pronounce clearly. So these are the barriers of effective speaking. Next, oral interaction. Oral interaction is the process of verbally transmitting information and ideas from one individual or group to another. Oral communication can be either formal or informal. Oral communication, for when you are communicating with orally, that is, example of it, face-to-face conversation, that is oral communication, and telephone conversation. So these are the discussions that take place at a business meeting. More formal types of oral communication include presentation, business meeting, and classroom lecture. These are the oral presentation when you are giving your presentation. So oral presentation is an example for it. Face-to-face conversation and presentation at a business meeting, classroom lectures. The oral presentation, we can generally conduct these oral communications, right? Next, conversation. What is conversation? What is the importance of conversation? Conversation is a form of interactive, spontaneous communication between two or more people. Typically, it occurs in spoken communication, as written exchange are usually not referred to as conversation. The development of conversational skills and etiquette is an important part of socialization. The development of conversational skills in a new language is a frequent focus of language teaching and learning. So conversation, when you are sharing, when you are giving the information, then how you are giving, the development of conversation skills is a new language is a frequent focus of language teaching and learning. Next, debate. What is debate? Debate is contention and argument, strife, dissension, quarreling, controversy, especially a formal discussion of subject before a public assembly or legislative, in parliament, or in any deliberative assembly. So debate is a method of formally presenting an argument in a disciplined manner. See here, debate is a method of formally presenting argument in a disciplined manner. So whenever you are attending, whenever you are giving, whenever you are participating in debate, please, my dear friends, you have to disciplined manner, you have to participate. So it's a formal presentation, an argument. If you are not agree with the opponent, if you are not able to understand what he is saying, or your opponent or your colleague or whoever the person, they are saying unclear data or not real data or not factual information, then you keep quiet. And whenever your turn come, then you have to raise your hand or raise your voice. Then it is very disciplined manner. You have to maintain discipline. Through logical consistency and factual accuracy and some degree of emotional appeal to the audience are elements in debating. So where one side often prevails over the other party by presenting a superior context and framework of the issue. So issue based, you have to speak on the issue, whatever the point you are raising, whatever the present superior or both parties, no, two parties, no. So that is the issue based, you can contextualize. That is very important. The outcome of a debate may depend upon compromise or some formal way of reaching a resolution rather than the objective facts. In a formal debating contest, there are rules for participants to discuss and decide on differences within a framework defining how they will interact. So debate is a disciplined presenting, a formally presenting an argument in a disciplined manner. Here in a debate, there are two parties, positive side and negative sides. So whoever one side often prevails over the other party by presenting the whatever their ideas, their views. You just listen first, and then whenever your turn comes, then you have to ask. But disciplinedly, you have to participate in the debate. Next, disagree without being disagreeable. You think your position is right. You want what is the best for your people. You want things done in the way that works best for your department. So you argue your point strongly. That's good, but don't overdo it. You don't win every battle. After all, your boss is looking after the best interest of his or her entire organization, not just your part of it. Recognize the aspects of negotiation involved. Remember, you will be working with these people again in the future. For those reasons, it's important that you disagree without being disagreeable. So in this slide, every person, they can understand. I know everything. My position is right. What I am saying, that is correct. Don't think like that. So you won't win every battle. If you have factual, if you have reality, then you keep quiet. You can strongly debate. You can argue. You argue your point strongly. No problem. But that's good. But don't overdo it. You don't win every battle. After all, your boss is looking after the best interest of his entire organization, not just your part of it. See, don't forget it. Recognize the aspects of negotiation is involved. Remember, tomorrow you will be work with these people only. So in that further, for those reasons, it's important that you disagree without being disagreeable. Next, oral presentation. How you are going to give your oral presentation whenever you are speaking. So orally, see here, oral presentations are one of the most common assignments in college courses. Scholars, professionals, and students in the all fields decide to disseminate the new knowledge they produce, and this is often accomplished by delivering oral presentation in class, at conferences, in public lecture, in company meeting. Therefore, learning to deliver effective presentation is a necessary skill to master both for college and for the endeavor. Oral presentation typically involve three important steps. So what are the three important steps? Number one is planning. Second one is practicing. And third one is presenting. So oral presentation involve three important steps. Number one is planning, practicing, and presenting. So what is planning? Here planning is very important. If you want to go anywhere, you have to plan for it. If you want to give your presentation, if you want to give your lecture to the audience, then you have to plan. So every work in every sector, if you want to do something, then plan for it. That is very important. Oral presentations require a good deal of planning. Scholars estimate that approximately 50% of all mistakes in an oral presentation actually occur in the planning stage only. Rather, lack of a planning stage make a sure to address the following issues. So, my dear friends, most of the approximately 50% of the students, all mistakes in oral presentation actually occur in the planning stage only. So here some of the points. First point here, focus your presentation on the audience. You have to focus. You have to focus on your audience. What levels of this audience? If you want to say something, those audience able to understand what you are saying. So that's what you have to focus your audience. Next, the second point here, organize your information into 3 to 5 points or 5 categories. Number 1 point is this. Second point is this. Number third point is this. That's so then the listener can understand point wise, and you may easily you may easily communicate. You can easily give your presentation. Okay, then the audience, then the listener can understand what you are saying. Next, the third point here, build reputation. This is very important thing. Listening is much different than the reading. Just now we discussed that. Build repetition, and listening is much different than the reading. Your audience cannot go back what you are said in the past, what you discussed in the past. That audience cannot go back and read over something they missed, or they did not understand what you said in the previous class. So build repetition through internal summaries, transitions, analogies, and stories. So if you want to say something, then yesterday what we discussed in the previous lecture, we discussed what is speaking skill, what are speaking skill, what are the benefits of speaking. So some points we discussed in the previous class. So you have to recollect what you discussed in the previous class. Then the listeners, then the audience can understand what you are saying. That is very important in this planning session. Next, practicing. My dear friends, practicing your presentation is essential. It is at this stage of the process that you figure out word and phrase, emphasis and the timing of your section and overall presentation. Record your presentation and review it in order to know how you sound and appeal to your audience. You may notice that you are pausing uncomfortably, talking too fast or too slow, or using distracting gestures. Next, the third point is practice in front of your peers and elicit feedback. Ask your peers to comment on your delivery and content. What aspects of your delivery work well to convey the information and argument of the presentation, and what aspects of your delivery are not working as well as they could. Also, are there moments in your presentation in which your peers become confused, bored, or distracted? So practice, my dear friends. Here you have to practice before giving your lecture in front of a mirror, or practice in front of your peers or your friends or your folks, and you can take the feedback. If the feedback negative or positive, that is separate issue. But how you are giving, what is your presentation skills, how you are practicing, then your friends will tell you what is good, what is bad. Okay. If not to practice, for example, tomorrow you are going to give your presentation. Today you have to go once or twice. Then you know what is the point you need to convey. What are the messages you want to convey? You have to know it. So that's what practice is very important before going your lecture. Next, practicing. Next, speaking skills. As the person in charge of situation, when presenting, it is your job to make your audience feel comfortable and engage with both you and the material of the presentation. So maintain eye contact. Only look at notes or slides very briefly. Whip the room with your gaze, pausing briefly on various people. So, my dear friends, whenever you are giving your presentation, how you are speaking, then you have to maintain your eye contact for all the audience, for all the people. That is very important. Then the listener, the audience can listen your words. And be aware of your body posture. Be aware of your body posture. Be enthusiastic about your topic and smile. The third point is smile. So here, speaking skills, when you are giving your presentation, when the time, don't go slow. Slow down your speech. Too slow. We naturally talk faster when we are nervous. Include pauses to allow your listener to keep up and time for you to think ahead. So, my dear friends, here you gesture to emphasize points and move about the space if possible. See, here there are 3 points also important here. See, calibrate the volume of your voice so that people in the back of the room can hear you. Avoid fillers such as I am, like this point of view. Don't use such type of fillers, because of maybe audience may not understand what you are saying, and unnecessary pauses is not a good thing. So that's what avoid fillers. I mentioned here like, okay, it's okay, look at. So don't use this type of fillers, my dear friends. Next, act as natural and relaxed as possible. So you have to don't copy, don't rehearse others' speech, don't copy others' presentators' voice. So what you are, what is your natural, act as a natural and relaxed as possible. Visual aids help explain your points. You have to prepare some slides, some of the slides, and visual aids help you how you are going to explain your point to point. Act as supporting evidence and add visual interest. Next, don't do not turn your back on the audience to look at your visual or black the visual with your body. Highlight what you would like to audience to focus on, and then make sure you are fully explained in the information you are highlighting. So you have to mention what is your main point. Okay, next, make sure visual readable and visually pleasing your audience. So above all, make sure your visual aids argument what you are saying rather than complete with what you are saying. Try not to include too much text or too many images in your visual aid. So don't take much images and overloaded information. It's not good. So what you want to say, the accurate and factual information you need to deliver. That is very important thing. Your spoken words and your visual aids should work together, so the audience attention is never divided between the two. So here, you know what, whenever you are using PPTs or visual aids, then work together so that the audience can understand what is the image, what is the information related to your topic. Isn't it? Next, questions and answers. Do not underestimate the challenge of running a successful question and answer the session. So you do not hesitate to, if the audience asks you some questions, then you have to answer it. If you don't know the answer, then you just simply, I'll tell you later, or I too don't know the exact this. You can say like this. They are unpredictable by nature. In your planning, try to anticipate possible questions for your audience might have. So that is very important thing. So this is all about speaking skills. In this session, we discussed the barriers of speaking, barriers of effective speaking, presenting, practicing your lecture. So this is all about speaking skills. Thank you for good listening. Have a nice day.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.